Today I'm out in my backyard enjoying another beautiful spring day. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, and I want to thank all our veterans for their service because I can. There were a whole lot of veterans out there that could never be thanked, and that's what tomorrow's about. The weather right now is gorgeous. Low 70s, we have some clouds coming over the Rocky Mountains. It's just beautiful. I'm getting everything ready to make a trip to our cabin in the UP. It's just too nice of a day to be loading up a trailer and getting things ready. So I think today I'm going to build me a Redneck air conditioner. Now, I'm not the first person that's ever built one of these. You can find them all over the internet. But I want to build mine to work on my Makita 18-volt batteries. And I'm going to show you how to do it. This is something you could build yourself and use any of your power tool batteries to operate it also. Now I went ahead and rolled out the old Redneck workbench. I love working on this thing. I can just roll it to any part of my yard, flip it over, and there we go. We got a nice place to work. And with this partial cloud cover and the cool breeze and the shade of the trees, I can't think of a better place to start. Here's the tools I'll be using to do this. Now, you could use hand tools to do this job. I have these battery operated tools and it just makes it that much faster to do, that much easier. So this is what I'll be using. But now these are all the materials I'm using, less the blower fan. It will be here this afternoon from Amazon. We have an ice chest, a piece of scrap 3/4 inch pipe that I had left over from a job a couple of years ago, glue and primer, tube of silicone. I've got a couple of fittings that are female glue by male thread, reducer, and I have a 90. So that's the materials I'm going to be using to put this together with. And I almost forgot the window and door foam. A lot of these cheaper coolers are just plastic and there's no insulation in them. There's airspace. I don't want this thing to squeeze together when I put this through, so I'm going to spray some of this foam in around there to keep the rigidity around where I'm drilling the holes. That's all I'm using this for. I'm not filling the inside of that plastic with foam. The first thing I'm going to do is put this valve together. I'm going to take these fittings and wrap them with a little bit of Teflon tape. This is not going to be under pressure, but we don't want it to drip, so we'll put a little bit of Teflon tape on it. Same thing on this one. Let's get those wraps going on there. Get 2 or 3 of them, that'll be fine. Then we can get these tightened in. Now we got that part done. The next thing I'm going to do is drill a hole through the top of this ice chest. I want it somewhere in the center, but we might not be able to do that. We got to look at the inside and see what it looks like. Now you can see these indentations here. We don't want that hole going through this, but here's an area that's flat, smooth, that's big enough that we can probably drill the hole. So let's just check it. It appears that we can drill that hole and keep the whole thing inside this flat area. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get this lined up and drill us a hole. I'm going to pull this off to the edge and drill through it. We went ahead and turned this back up, and I'll come through this back side and we'll be done. There we go. I've got that hole drilled, just about a perfect fit. Now if you look inside, you can see that this lid has no insulation in it. It's just a dead air space. What I'm going to do is put some spray foam in and around this area, and that will help make this solid. I'm going to put this block of wood on there while that foam squeezes together, fills in that space. So it'll be a little bit, then I'll come back to this. I'll cut a small piece of this off to put on the end of the valve. Now the pipe's cut, we got to clean the burrs off. Take our blade, go around inside, go around the outside, glue on this short piece of pipe. Primer in there, get it on the end of the pipe, take some of the cement, try that right-handed so you can see what I'm doing. Pretty simple. Put it together, just push it in, give it a little bit of a twist, Just hold it for a few seconds. You can tell it's not wanting to push back out. So now we can set that aside and let it dry. This is 3/4 inch pipe. I do have a hole saw that is the same diameter as the outside of this pipe. So this hole saw I'm going to use to drill a hole through the bottom of this ice chest. I've gone ahead and cut another nipple off and glued it on the other side. So now this is ready to go. Looks like the side of this already has the foam inside, so I won't have to use the spray foam in there. Well, good morning. My fan came in from Amazon late last night, so I'm out here this morning. I'm going to put this fan on the Redneck air conditioner. It's got a little end to plug into a computer, cut the end off of it. I'm going to test this fan out on this unit here. This is a hub that I built about 2 months ago. This is for 12 volt and it runs off of an 18 volt Makita 5 amp hour battery. This is a hub that you can put your batteries in. This runs into a transformer. This transformer takes this 18 volt down to 12. I've got a fuse in this and it runs around, and I've got a negative side and I've got a positive side and a switch. I can now use this unit to power anything 12 volt, like lighting, a little computer fan, those kind of things, and it comes in pretty handy. I was going through my hole saws last night and I found one the perfect size for putting this in, so that's what we're going to use. We'll get this hole put in here. What do you think? I should tighten it on there? Let's give that a try. I've got this great idea. I've actually got this on this time. So now we'll drill a hole. Put this protective cover on, get that lined up. Put one in the opposite corner. These other two should go in fairly simply. And there we go. Lift the whole thing up with it. And that will stop air from leaking out of there. All right, we have it finished. I put this drain on there so you can drain the water out of this when the ice melts. You can use bagged ice, block ice. What I like to use is plastic Gatorade bottles or juice bottles. I'll rinse them out, fill them up full of water, freeze them. With those, you wouldn't even need this. You could put a rubber hose on there and run it outside your tent or whatever you're staying in. Leave this cracked open a little bit, and as the ice melts, it just runs right on out onto the ground. On the top, I put this 2.5 by 3 inch reducer on here, and then I've got this 90 that's a female by male glue in. I'm just not going to glue it. You can just set this in here, turn this in any direction you want to, depending on how this is setting, and your cold air will come out of this. So I've hooked it up to my little Makita battery power station, put the battery in, and it's ready to go. So we're going to test it out. Right now it's in the mid 70s. There's no ice inside the ice chest. Let's take a shot at this and see what the internal temperature is. Looks like it's 76.2 degrees. Let's get some ice in this thing and try it out. Now it may be a little overkill for amount of ice, but if you have drinks and ice cubes, you'll fill it that full anyway. This is what I normally use when I have an ice chest full of stuff because it doesn't thaw out as fast. So we'll shut this and we'll test it out. Let's get our little battery hub up here. We're ready to go. Well, we've got it full of ice. Let's turn it on and let's see if it's any better than 76 degrees this time. Down to 68. That's a lot better. Give it a couple of minutes. Let's try it again. We got 65.1 degree. It's still dropping. Oh yeah, that feels great. Down to 64. 62.7. I'm standing about 3 feet away from this behind the camera, and I can actually feel that air blowing clean over here. That's pretty nice. It's been running for a little bit. Try it again. I got 60.4 degrees. We got 59.3 degrees. I would say that's a working air conditioner. Well, there you go. That's how you build an ice chest air conditioner, or as I call them, a Redneck AC. The cost to build this was under $50. I think it was $47 and a couple of pennies. That's not counting this battery hub that I made for my Makita. That's something totally separate, and you can see another video on that. It'll be linked below. All you have to do is add ice, your favorite beverage, and a power source, and you're ready to go. In less than 5 minutes, this went from 76 degrees down to 59 degrees. So I'd say it works pretty good. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you want to make one of these, you got something that serves a couple of purposes. You can have an air conditioner for your tent and keep your drinks cold at the same time. And I would call that a win-win. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, hit that thumbs up button, check out some of my other YouTube videos, and if you enjoy those, consider subscribing to the channel, ringing the bell, and you'll be notified every time I put something up. If you share them on social media, that's the best thing you can do to help my channel grow, and I really appreciate that. I'm Joe, and you've been watching Safarijoe's Adventures, and make your life an adventure. It's always fun. As always, thanks for watching, and God bless.